What's up, guys? It's your girl Stacey Cake, your host for What's Hot, and today I'm here to talk about 4 black films you'll only watch once. And these are great films, excellent films. I highly recommend you watch them at least once, but they're just so emotionally taxing, you probably won't want to watch them again. And if you've seen any of these films, you already know what I'm talking about. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and comment, and let's get into it. Okay, so the first one is For Colored Girls. Most people have probably seen this film by now. It came out in 2010, and most people that have seen it automatically agree. That's why I'm listing this as number one, even though I'm not doing these in any particular like ranking order. This is just one that I know a lot of people feel this way about, and it's just trauma interlaced with trauma, interlaced with trauma, interlaced with trauma. And while it's a great watch, and I think it speaks to a lot of the struggles that women of color go through, black women go through, it is a difficult watch. It's intriguing, it's captivating, it's very well done. It is based on a book of poetry. It was very well done film. And it had a lot of familiar faces, a great cast: Kimberly Elise, Janet Jackson, Whoopi Goldberg, Kerry Washington, Danny Newton, Loretta Devine, like a star-studded cast. Anika Rose, Omari Hardwick, Felicia Rashad, Tessa Thompson, Michael Ealy, Khalil Kanan, and Richard Lawson, like Macy Gray. Star-studded cast, phenomenal movie. But when I tell you, you just don't forget it. It was like you're dealing with so much. You're dealing with murder, you're dealing with PTSD, I'm talking about the characters in the story. You're dealing with that. You're dealing with teen pregnancy, abortion, sexual assault, just so much trauma, cheating, self-esteem issues, parental issues, just so much. And it is a very impactful movie, and it leaves a mark on you for sure. But I think Michael Ealy and Khalil Kane's characters, you definitely ain't gonna want to see it again after you see what they do in these movies. Yeah, no, the woman, poor Kimberly Elise character, was scrubbing the blood off the ground. It just was a lot. It was a lot. And on a lighter note, the storyline wasn't light at all. But on a lighter note, people begin to adapt, and even I would say sometimes, Janet Jackson and Omari Hardwick were a couple in this film, and Omari Hardwick was on the DL, and Janet Jackson was finding out about it. She was confronting him about him being on the DL, and he was denying it. I ain't letting nobody bend me over. That's what Omari Hardwick said. He said, I ain't letting nobody bend me over. So she said, oh, so you the one doing the bending. That was a one black people don't take nothing seriously. That was one they done turned into a meme, and they always say, and even I done say it, I start saying it now. So it definitely was a classic, timeless movie, but it's so emotionally intense that, yeah, you gonna only want to watch it one time. Let's get into the next one. So the next one, bringing us a little bit forward in time, 2019, this movie came out, Queen and Slim. So this movie stars Daniel Kaluuya and Jodie Turner-Smith, and again, it was like almost like a Bonnie and Clyde thing, but with some like racial trauma in it, racial injustice and all that stuff involved. And so Daniel Kaluuya and Jodie Smith's characters, Queen and then Slim, are on a first date, and then while after they leave the date, they get pulled over by a cop. Things turn for the worse, and then in self-defense, they end up having to kill the cop, and then that leads them on a police chase. So the cops are after them. They begin running from the police, and that is our story. it's a riveting story, and they actually labeled this film as a romance slash thriller. And I think the thriller just says like a lot. It was again a very captivating movie, a lot of sexual chemistry in it that I really enjoyed between the two actors in this film. But like, just as a first of all, as a Black person, like, you're gonna empathize on a different level, and it's gonna hit you on a different level, and it's gonna evoke some emotion. You're gonna feel what they feel. If you've ever been pulled over by the police, if you've ever feel any type of experience, any type of racial bias or prejudice or racism against you, this movie is going to hit that nerve, and you're going to feel that, as with most movies like this. But it definitely says a message, but it's different. It allows us to also watch these two characters grow through their trauma. Like, they literally trauma bond, and it's like almost like they're the last two people on earth. And that's what draws them so close together, and we get to see that a relationship develop as they have to trust each other, decide what steps to take next while they're on this run from the police. And the ending is tragic, surprise surprise. And it leaves a mark on your heart. One of my favorite scenes from the movie, though, was when they were in the club kind of dancing. That was a great scene. And then when they got it on in the cold, that was a good scene too. Yeah, it was just tough. It was a lot of like chemistry again, and a lot of intensity in this movie, and I just love it was just a very well done. This was a story by Lena Waithe and a screenplay by Lena Waithe. So Lena, this was like definitely one of her greatest hits. And I think if you haven't seen it, you would definitely enjoy it. If you have seen it, for me, it's just, I think people have watched this again. I know around Black History Month last year they put it on Netflix, and I kept saying I was going to watch it again, but I just could not emotionally prepare myself to take that dive again, knowing what was going to happen in the end, and knowing how it was going to all just begin with the police stuff. Like, that stuff is just such like it just feels too close to home sometimes, and it's hard for me to mentally prepare myself to watch these type of movies. But again, it was a great film, and if you haven't seen it, I do recommend that you check it out. If you have seen it, let me know in the comments if this is one you can watch again or not. So the next one, if you haven't seen this one, is Fruitvale Station. It came out in 2013. I am going to give a spoiler in this one, so if you don't want to know how it ends, just be cautious. But yeah, so this one was a Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan film. This was actually my introduction to Michael B. Jordan. Was this film? It's an American biographical drama film that takes us through the life of Oscar Grant. And at no point did I know how this film was going to end. I was waiting for like, okay, like, what's the storyline leading to? What are we going to get to? And when it happened at the end, it was like, what? So now I'm about to say what the spoiler was. So if you don't want to know, this is your chance to skedaddle. He gets killed by the freaking police. It was the San Francisco Transit Police. He gets killed on New Year's Day. Crazy. At no point, like, I didn't know anything about Oscar Grant when I watched this film. So like, at no point did I know how this movie was going to end. And I 100%, I don't want to watch it again. Like, I might watch it again, but like, it was just like tragedy. Another one of those just tragically sad things. And then when you realize it's based on someone's real life and what happened to someone, it's just gut wrenching. And again, just deeply impactful. And I'm happy the story was told, but yeah, it's one of those ones where it was like, it's a one and done for me. But if you guys have watched this film, what were your thoughts? Do you feel like is it a film that you have watched again, or is it a one and done for you? Let me know in the comments. Okay, my last film is a 2018 film by the title If Beale Street Could Talk. Now, this was a really good film. I loved the dynamic between the characters, their relationship. It was actually a very like romantic thing to watch. Obviously, it has a critical component, an obstacle. It deals with racial injustice, specifically with the police system again, but it's kind of like in a long, kind of drawn out way, and we're waiting to see if the main character, Alonzo Fawney, gets vindicated because he was wrongfully arrested. And spoiler alert, my issue, the reason I can't watch this again, it gave you a hope where you just wanted him to be free so bad and you didn't know if it was going to happen, only for at the end for it not to happen. And it was so sad watching such this, like when you watch a movie that long and it's just drawn out only for the character not to have a happy ending, it's just emotionally taxing. That's the best way I can describe it. And I think excuse me, I think all of these films are emotionally taxing, but I think specifically this was, I felt like it was longer. It felt like just a really long film, but it was only 2 hours. But I thought it was longer when I was watching it, and it just felt like I was watching and witnessing their romance so much, the character development, the things that they went through with each other's families, all of these things, and you want them to win so bad. And I feel like that's how you know it's a really good film, because it evokes emotion, and it makes you really empathize with the characters and connect with the characters in the story. And they did a great job of this in this story. This is a Barry Jenkins film, and it was really, really well done, but it was just so emotionally taxing to watch how it unfolded and to have no real justice at the end, and to them not give Fonnie home was just devastating to me as a viewer. And it's something I don't know if I want to sit through again, honestly. But again, it was a really well done film, and I definitely recommend you guys check it out if you haven't seen it. Again, as I said with the other ones, if you have seen it, let me know if it's something you could watch again, what your thoughts were on the film, and if it's any movies you think I should include and do a part 2 to this. Thank you guys so much again for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Check out my Cash App. Leave a tip if you love this type of content. And I will see you guys next time.